Everyone, let's take a moment of silence for the loss of this beautiful half-gallon jar. She brought a lot of love and joy to my kitchen, and she will be missed for generations to come. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are working on the 36 Sunday dinner. We're officially out of the August dinners and into September. We're moving into a little bit warmer, a little bit more fall-like kind of meals, things that maybe are a little more stick to our ribs and a little less maybe fruity and refreshing. Our menu today actually looks pretty easy to me time-wise. It seems like if we really wanted to, we could get everything done in one day, but there is one recipe that specifies specifically it should be done on Saturday. So we are going to do a few things today and then we'll finish everything up tomorrow. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we'll be working on in this video. So we have the chicken pot pie, Bulwark potatoes, steamed squash. On the menu is sweet apple pickle, but I usually don't look at these super far ahead of time, and obviously pickles need to be done sometimes weeks, sometimes months ahead of time. So we're gonna skip over these pickles, but we will be making the fresh peach salad with, of course, mayonnaise, because why wouldn't a recipe have mayonnaise in it? Soda brown bread, date tart, and coffee, just like every other week. Today, if we look at this soda brown bread, it says, of course, this will be baked on Saturday. I don't know why that is an obvious of course, but apparently it is. So we will be working on the soda brown bread, the Bulwark potatoes, and the date tart today. And then tomorrow we'll take care of the chicken pot pie, the fresh peach salad, the steamed squash, and we will finish the Bulwark potatoes. We'll just do the preparation of the potatoes and then we will warm them and cook them tomorrow. Let's throw an apron on and go ahead and get started with the bread. I'm too used to working with deck eggs, which have a much thicker shell, and I somehow just smashed that egg into oblivion, and trying to save it and separate the egg from the white in my hand also didn't work. So I'm pretty sure you can't have any yolks in the whites when you're working with them. We're gonna start over. It might also be good timing here because I am smelling the bread being done. I'm actually kind of smelling some burning here. So let's pull that out, see if they're done. It's definitely not even been 60 minutes. It calls for 90 minutes, so you can see the tops are starting to burn a little bit, so I think maybe 50 minutes they were in there, so just over half the time that it called for. I ran it on a 400 degree oven at first and then bumped it back to 350. So maybe this needed like a 325, 350 degree oven instead of a 400. Okay, back to egg cracking. Let's try this again, but maybe a little more gently. Maybe not that gentle because it won't break apart. Now we are going to fold in the egg whites. What does that mean? Do we fold it in half like paper? We just fold it in. You just fold it. You know, you fold it. This cake or tart has fallen completely, so I don't know if it wasn't done when I pulled it out. I cooked it, it said 30 minutes. I cooked it closer to maybe 40 minutes, and maybe it needed to go just a little bit longer, but it was much taller earlier, and now that it has cooled, it is deflated and a little sad looking. I'm also a little bit nervous about whether this is going to come out or not, and if it's just going to stick in here. Yeah, it feels like it's just sticking. It didn't say to grease this at all. Oh boy. Yeah, this should be fun. Hold on. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like right in through here where this should be coming out, some of the cake maybe got underneath and is baked on between these layers and just sticking. So I really thought we were gonna get through one dinner without screwing it up. Okay, maybe we'll try this. Yeah, that's stuck. Oh, no. I wanted you to work so badly. Yeah, that's not great. I don't know how we're supposed to get that off of here without just scooping it. Maybe the rest will be good. Maybe this will taste good. We ran into a slight hiccup. When I went to grab the potatoes for the Bulwark potatoes to boil them, it turns out there was a conversation had in my house a few days ago where it was mentioned that the potatoes that we currently had were starting to smell a little bit funky and that they were going to be thrown away. And apparently I approved that, and I have no recollection of that conversation. I don't know what I was distracted with, but I didn't remember any of it. So there currently are no potatoes in my house, but they are on their way. They will be arriving in maybe an hour or two. So what we might do for this evening is just boil those potatoes and get the sauce and the rest of it done tomorrow while we are getting the chicken boiled and the rest of that done. We'll probably just start with the potatoes first thing, and hopefully that will be just fine. All right, we are back and it is dinner day. We still have the potatoes to finish up. As you know, we had a little bit of a miscommunication yesterday, and the potatoes finally made it to my house, and we got them boiled and they've been cooling so that we can start with cold boiled potatoes this morning. We're gonna do that first so that they can soak for a few hours while we get everything else ready. We still need to do the steamed squash, the chicken pot pie, and the peaches in addition to those potatoes. So let's start getting those sliced up and then we'll get going on everything else. You know, there's never a dull moment in this kitchen. We're gonna need to pause on the making this biscuit dough and get this cleaned up, and then we will regroup. I think I'm most heartbroken here about losing this half-gallon jar than I am about having to clean up this mess and losing the flour and the time here. Everyone, let's take a moment of silence. She brought a lot of love and joy to my kitchen, and she will be missed for generations to come. All right, let's try this again. We have a new half-gallon jar that so far hasn't been smashed all over the ground. So let's get that biscuit dough going. I mixed this up according to what it said, and it's really dry. It says to flip it out onto a well-floured board and toss it with 2 knives. Don't touch it with my hands. I guess I didn't think about it when I was mixing in the water. Was I not, or the milk, was I not supposed to touch it with my hands? Is that why it's this dry? I don't know. I know that if I flip this out onto a floured board and try and flip it around with 2 knives, all these pieces are just going to flip all over the place. This isn't going to come together. So I'm going to add a little bit more milk. Maybe I have the air conditioning running in my house right now, so maybe it's just a little bit too dry in here. We'll add a little bit of milk, try and mix it together, see if it forms, and then we will flip it out onto this board. This is so weird to me. All right, this board is well floured. If you know the reason that I am not supposed to touch this biscuit dough with a spoon or my hands, let me know. Leave that information down in the comments below, because this just, like, why? Why do I need to toss this with 2 knives, and I guarantee however they were supposed to be doing it back then, I know my strategy is going to look ridiculous, so toss it. What, like a pizza? What do you mean toss it? Like flip it until it's well floured. It doesn't say knead it. Toss. This is, why? 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 Am I doing it right? 2 knives. Why not a spoon? A spoon would be so much easier to scoop it up. Am I supposed to be cutting it? And I mean, 2 knives, should I cut it? This is ridiculous. It seems well floured, I guess. Does that seem well floured enough? But there's cracks. That's not well floured. Am I supposed to flour the crack? I don't get it. Okay, good enough, I guess. This also doesn't look promising, but this is what we have to go with, and hopefully it tastes better than what that looks. And as we had in a previous video discussed, this recipe calls for a fat or plump fowl. They don't sell them anymore. Now they are young frying chickens. So the flavor of this chicken may be a little less developed, a little less complex, a little more mild, but we're going with what we've got. Let's get this young girl cut up and we'll get her into the pot. We're about to drop these peaches into the water, and I'm going to use the suggestion that one of you gave me when I was dealing with trying to peel or skin or pare those hot potatoes and I could barely touch them. I'm going to score these ahead of time before I drop them into the water, and that should make getting these skins off easier and save me burning my little tiny fingertips. All right, let's just see if this is any easier. Can we slip this whole thing over? Let's see. Come on, come on. Oh, yeah! The whole thing, one piece. That was amazing. This one's gonna do it too. This one's gonna do it too. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. We have this one on the side here that the skin will not come off, so I'm just leaving it in there. We'll eat it later, but we're gonna sprinkle some lemon juice on. Ah, whoops. I guess pour. When I said sprinkle, I guess I meant pour. Oh, it seems like there's a lot of seeds in here. I'm feeling like maybe I should have gotten some more squash. I feel like I'm wasting a lot here. I don't want to remove all these seeds. But we're gonna try it. The recipe says to steam it for 40 minutes. That seems insane to me. I think it will already have broken down and pureed itself if we were to do that. I looked at the manual on this baby. It says zucchini and squash should be maybe about 10 minutes. So we'll do 10 minutes on this, and hopefully that's right. Now, this says to turn off the pot liquor. When they say that, and then it goes on to say season it with salt and pepper, thicken it with blah, 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 and then turn it back with the chicken. So when I first read it, I thought, okay, turn it off, like turn the heat off. I think it wants us to separate it. Now, this is a heavy duty, that looks kind of gross in there, but this is a pretty heavy duty pot. This is a cast iron pot here. I am not pouring the liquid out. What I think I'll do is scoop the chicken and the pork out of there, set it aside, cook everything in here, and put the chicken back in instead of doing it the opposite way. That seems the most efficient way to me, but I guess we will find out. There is fire under there. There is zero chance I'm going to put a towel tightly over top of this thing and risk it catching on fire and burning my whole house down for this chicken pot pie. So we are just gonna skip that step and go from there. This one has me a tidbit nervous. I'm supposed to take these potatoes, which have been chilling for several hours, and turn it onto a fireproof platter. I'm hoping this keeps its shape. I think maybe we'll do it like this. No? Well, that's not moving. Let's, maybe we need to move around the sides. You saw me, I buttered it well, but let's try. Come on, baby. Give it up. Ah! Okay. It partially sort of came out. I don't know how I'm supposed to brush this with melted butter. Like, there's sauce all over it. Maybe I'll try and just sprinkle it. Oh, you know what? It kind of is working a little bit. All right, well, I'm glad we tried it instead of just assuming it wouldn't work and moving on. It didn't specify what type of cheese. I'm using Parm. I don't know, maybe they meant cheddar. They meant cheddar, they should have said it. I think this will mostly be kind of adorable. We need to cut this peach in half. It is very slippery with the skin off, so let's hope I don't slice my hand. And the second half of this video is then in the emergency room. We'll be very careful. Okay. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Huh. Oh, this is cool. Can you see that? Oh. There's a little nut inside of this pit. The pit split open. And there's a little nut in there. Oh, hey! Are peach nuts a thing? Whoops. I don't know. Is that a peach nut? Can you? Oh. I don't know why I did that. That was weird. It's probably toxic. Don't do that at home. then put them together. So I guess the cream cheese is supposed to act as the pit. So we have our halves here. Just stick them back together. Now we have to top it off with some thick mayonnaise. Why? Why do we have to ruin this? This would have been so good without the mayonnaise. Why do they want us to put mayonnaise on here? We'll still do it because we have to follow these recipes, but like, why? Why is everything with mayonnaise? Ugh. Yuck. Could have been so delicious. The recipe calls for us to mash this in a colander so that any of the excess water will drain off. However, I'm a little bit concerned that the squash is going to come mashing out of these holes. I put it in a bowl so that if it does, if all that squash comes just squirting through those holes there, that it will, we'll be able to catch it. Let's see, is it coming out? A little bit is coming out of the colander, but not a lot, and it really is all that excess water is coming out. Ah! Whoopsie. There is a lot of butter at the bottom of this. This chicken pot pie, I can smell it through the lid. It smells amazing. Let's take a look. How did it turn out? That looks beautiful. It is also sizzling, so let's give this just a few moments to cool down before we try and eat it and burn our mouths off. We are finished with the whole meal. It's ready to go. I'm really excited about this one. Everything smells incredible. I have a feeling most of it is going to taste really good. We are to start with the chicken pot pie, the potatoes, and the squash, I believe. Then we would have done the apple pickles. Obviously, we talked about that earlier. I didn't make those, so let's start with these three first. Ooh, that is piping. I want the middle biscuit. I'm gonna actually start with the squash first because the chicken pot pie and the potatoes are steaming still. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm afraid I might like burn the entire inside of my mouth if I try to eat that first. So let's go with the squash. Pretty tasty. It tastes like fall to me. Nice and simple. Just the vegetables and a little bit of salt and butter. It's pretty tasty. Let's go with these potatoes. Okay, not too hot. Those are delicious. There is a nice cream sauce, salt and pepper and cheese. I thought maybe they would be a little bit plain and bland. They definitely are not. All of the flavors inside of it complement each other really well. And I bet it is really tasty with this chicken pot pie. So let's try, hopefully this will be cool enough. Let's try a little bit of this chicken pot pie and then maybe we can try them together. The biscuit inside looks nice and done. Let me see if I can show you the inside a little bit. Whoa, it's falling off. Oh, that's burning me. It's still pretty warm, but yeah, I think this looks great. That's amazing. That is so good. I did not know what to expect when I saw chicken pot pie. In my mind, chicken pot pie is like a pie crust with vegetables and a gravy and chicken. And maybe, I don't know if that's a difference between like the North and the South, or I have no idea what the difference in what people think of chicken pot pie is, but this is amazing. Let's try it with the potatoes. Oh, you know why it's so good? I was just trying to figure out why it tastes so rich and salty. It's the salt fat pork in here. Anything we have added that pork to so far has been incredible. So do you want to know how to make any dish amazing? Put that salt fat pork in there. It'll be amazing. That's good stuff. I don't even need the rest of it. I could just eat this right here and be happy. I also wouldn't have to eat the mayonnaise on that peach dessert, so I'd be extra happy, but we can't all be so lucky. All right, now for our peach dessert with mayonnaise on top. It is really, if we would have left that mayonnaise on, this would have been adorable. This could be a nice Animal Crossing themed dessert. But I really want to like this. I really want this to be like I'm gonna try it and trying not get the mayonnaise in it at first to see how it is without the mayonnaise, and then I'll try it with the mayonnaise. Oh, I have to stab the mayonnaise to get some of this. Okay. Oh, that's adorable. Kind of looks like the little pit in there. That's cute. All right. I'll try it with my spoon since now my fork is contaminated with mayonnaise. Peaches and cream and nuts. It's great. This without the mayonnaise is delicious. All right, let's try this now with the mayonnaise because that's what the recipe calls for and we have to. I have some behind the scenes help that likes mayonnaise. I will have them try this with the mayonnaise and ask what their opinion is. Smells like mayonnaise. I'm gonna smell the cream cheese instead. Why do they have to do that? It's not good. It tastes like you put mayonnaise on your fruit. Who would do that? It's so rude. You try this. Tell me what you think. My mayonnaise loving help says it's just okay. They would not eat it again. I also would not ever eat this again. I would eat this again without the mayonnaise. Just the cream cheese and the peaches, great. The nuts in there, great. The mayonnaise, no, you took it one step too far. Next is the soda brown bread. Looking over this meal, I was thinking earlier, they probably could have done without this bread. There are biscuits in the chicken pot pie. There's potatoes. Excuse me. There's bread, and then there's a tart on top of it. Like, we really could have either done without the biscuits, which I don't think we should have because those were fabulous. We really didn't need this bread. But, you know, maybe back in the day they did. I don't know. But let's break it open. See how it turned out. It's a thick, dense thing of bread. We'll try it with and without butter. It looks okay. It smells very much like molasses. It's very sweet. It tastes very strong of molasses. It's very dry. Let's try it with a little bit of butter and see if that helps it out a little bit. That was a lot to chew and swallow. The butter doesn't do much to help that out. It's just way too dry. Too dry, too hard to chew through. If I was using, like in order to use this up, maybe do some French toast or something with it, but I would not use this recipe again. As we showed you yesterday, this tart was a lot higher, and then suddenly it just sort of fell. I could not get it off of this cake pan nicely. So we're gonna kind of just serve it on the cake pan. I'm hoping it tastes much better than it looks. Actually, I don't know, that it's keeping its shape there. We'll see. We're supposed to serve this covered in whipped cream. All right, last thing is the tart. I had very high hopes for this. We covered it all in whipped cream. Smells nutty. That deflating did not hurt the flavor of this any at all. It's both light and rich at the same time. It's really kind of an interesting contrast in there. It's extremely moist with all of those dates. Oh yeah. The whipped cream, because I just whipped up straight whipped cream, I didn't add any sugar or anything to it. It almost breaks up the sweetness of the tart. It is very, very, very sweet. The dates, the sugar, the nuts help break up some of the sweetness a little bit, but not a lot. That whipped cream really helps it out. I kind of want to try it without the whipped cream. It's delicious without the whipped cream, but the whipped cream kind of takes it to that next level. This is phenomenal. I say I would do this again. I wouldn't. I mean, I would never take the time to do this again. But if somebody else made this for me and I got to eat it again, I would be super stoked. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Overall, I think we had a pretty successful meal. We didn't screw too many things up, and it tasted amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please tune in next week where, amongst other things, we make Italian spaghetti. Except this spaghetti calls for the pasta to be cooked for 15 minutes. Yeah, that's right. You heard that right. Find out next week how that turns out. Hello, my little babies. Do you want some peaches? Want some peaches and mayonnaise? Get it, girl.